welcome to ERi-TV English News Broadcast viewers. We are ready for a domestic and international report for March 6, 2026. Do stay tuned, and I begin with the top stories. Activity assessment meeting of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Ministry of Agriculture celebrates International Women's Day. Iran deploys an advanced long-range ballistic missile. And Mauritius considers legal action against the UK over Chagos Islands. Welcome again. In today's domestic report, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs conducted an activity assessment meeting for the year 2025 and discussed programs for 2026 from February 26th to March 3rd in Asmara. At the meeting, Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, gave an extensive briefing on the activities implemented in 2025, including the achievements registered and challenges encountered, as well as on the programs for 2026. Minister Osman said that Eritrea, as a sovereign country, is actively engaged in diplomatic efforts to make its modest contribution to peace and stability in the region. Noting that one of Eritrea's policy stances is to ensure mutual cooperation and partnership among neighboring countries while respecting national sovereignty and territorial integrity, he said that in 2026 Eritrea will work earnestly to enhance partnership and cooperation with various countries. At the meeting, all departments of the ministry presented detailed briefing on the charted out programs for 2026. The programs include conducting active follow-up on mutual and multilateral political and diplomatic activities, economic development, security, cultural and educational affairs, human rights, global issues, hostilities and sanctions, illegal migration and human trafficking, as well as geopolitics in the Horn of Africa and the Nile Basin. It was also reported that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will introduce online services to facilitate timely consular and public services for diaspora nationals. The participants conducted extensive discussions on the reports presented and adopted various recommendations. In another news, members of the National Union of Eritrean Women branch at the Ministry of Agriculture celebrated International Women's Day under the theme Our Values, Our Shield on March 5th. The event was attended by Mr. Arafina Berha, Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Atisfa Mikhail, President of the National Union of Eritrean Women, Mr. Saleh Ahmed Din, Chairman of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students, as well as representatives of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations in Eritrea and the Development Bank of Africa. Noting the significance of conscious and active participation for the total emancipation of women, Minister Arafina called on members of the Union branch at the Ministry of Agriculture to strengthen their participation in the realization of the roadmap, ensure nutritious food for all, everywhere. Ms. Sanait Mahari, Head of Social and Economy at the National Union of Eritrean Women's Central Office, noting the significance of the participation of all sectors for the realization of the total emancipation of women, commended the participation of women professionals at the Ministry of Agriculture in the development of natural and nutritious agricultural products. Ms. Heran Yosef, Head of the Union branch at the Ministry, said that March 8th is celebrated as a day on which Eritrean women renew their pledge to strengthen participation in national development programs while confronting all sorts of challenges. She also expressed readiness to contribute what is required of them. The event featured cultural and artistic programs as well as the handing over of certificates of recognition to veteran women members of the ministry who served with commitment. In related news, International Women's Day was celebrated at regional level in the Gashbarka and Ansaba regions under the theme Our Values, Our Shield. At the celebratory event conducted in Mogolo at the Gashbarka level, Ms. Yahdega Johannes, Head of the National Union of Eritrean Women in the region, presented a statement on behalf of the Union branch, while heads of branch offices of the Union delivered messages of solidarity. Speaking at the event, Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Hurui, governor of the region, said that March 8th is the day on which Eritrean women review and renew their pledge to preserve the equal economic, political, social and administrative participation they secured through their struggle and to transfer it to the young generation. Meanwhile, at an event conducted in Karan at the Ansaba region level, Ms. Amna Hassan, head of the union branch, noting the significance of International Women's Day in general and in Eritrea in particular, called for greater efforts to transfer the history of Eritrean women to the young generation. The events in both regions featured cultural and artistic programs depicting the day. In the same vein, Ms. Haben Tadessa, prosector in the Ansaba region, conducted a seminar on law and women for students of Hamel Mala College of Agriculture on March 5th and 4th, while Ms. Abirrash Habtai, head of the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in Sawa and higher education institutions, conducted a seminar for members of the defense forces on values of the Eritrean people yesterday and today. This wraps up our domestic news for this session. Dear viewers, do stay tuned, for we shall be back with the international ones after the short break. Welcome back. Now, the global arena. We begin with Iran. Iran state television reported on Thursday that one of the country's most advanced long-range ballistic missiles, Khorramshahr-4, has been deployed at one of the Revolutionary Guard's aerospace underground missile cities. The Khorramshahr-4 has a range of 2,000 kilometers and is capable of carrying 1,500 kilograms warhead, it added. Iran state media said the operational deployment of the Khorramshahr-4 in missile cities on Wednesday coincides with the announced shift in the armed forces doctrine from defensive to offensive and carries a clear message to regional and extra-regional adversaries. Meanwhile, the United States-Israel military operation against Iran is estimated to have cost Washington $3.7 billion so far in its first 100 hours alone, or nearly $900 million a day, driven largely by the huge expenditure of munitions, according to new research. On the other side, the U.S. President Donald Trump said on Thursday that sending U.S. ground troops into Iran is a waste of time, suggesting that an invasion of the country is not an option at the moment, adding, however, that the pace and intensity of strikes will continue. The president is making such remarks after Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that his country is ready for countering any land-based attacks from the US and Israel. In today's final report, Mauritius has said that it's considering legal redress to force the United Kingdom to hand back the Chagos Islands. Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam said that the UK was delaying ratification of the deal that would see the territory home to a strategically important naval and bomber base revert to Port Louis. Under the agreement reached in 2024, the UK will pay Mauritius £101 million per year to lease back the base for at least 99 years. The islands have been under British control since 1814. Britain evicted as many as 2,000 people from the islands in the 1960s and 70s, so the US military could build the Diego Garcia base. The United Nations has opposed the deal, saying the islands should return to the Chagosians, whom it considers the rightful owners of the land. It says the agreement also does not formally acknowledge past injustices, provide full reparation for harms, or allow the islands to preserve their distinct cultural heritage. It is to be recalled that Britain's agreement to return back the islands has been described as a strategic mistake by US President Donald Trump in one of his recent statements. This wraps up our domestic and international report for this session, dear viewers. Before we finalize, I present you the top stories once more. Activity assessment meeting of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Ministry of Agriculture celebrates International Women's Day. In our international, Iran deploys an advanced long-range ballistic missile. And Mauritius considers legal action against the UK over Chagos Islands. This was The World on Friday with ERi-TV English News Broadcast. Dear viewers, from all of us here, thank you for watching and have a good weekend.